Hello, everyone, and welcome today to this lovely, I would say, afternoon or late evening as applicable, because in New Zealand it's about 9 p.m. now. So I would like to really thank Dr. Madan Mohan Sethi ji and Ganesh for removing time during non-working hours during their off time. Thank you so much for being here with us today. And we at Indian Chamber of International Business have been working with supporting the Indian MSME companies to grow globally, to expand. We are present in 42 countries. We've been working across boundaries with partners. And I think New Zealand has been on our focus area since many years now. And I think with the, I would say, blessings of Dr. Madan Mohan Sethi ji, because we've been working with him and associated in his previous capacities and roles also since a long time. His support is phenomenal when it comes to promoting India and India's interests. And of course, Ganesh, who's our resident country representative in New Zealand, in Auckland. So thank you both of you all for being here with us. We, as the Chamber of Commerce, have been present in 14 states in India, 42 countries globally. And it has been our endeavor to try and focus on enhancing the value that Indian company gets globally. So I think this is what is most important. I would like to highlight this especially. There are many opportunities that come in New Zealand-India trade. And today's focus is going to be how the FTA that is going to be signed between both countries. It's nearly final, just to be signed on the dotted line. And I really hope that Prime Minister Narendra Modi ji would be doing that very soon. And hopefully, this will open a whole new market and whole new region, I would say, for Indian companies. That being said, it is one of utmost importance that the leadership of Prime Minister Narendra Modi, when it comes to promoting India's interest and the support to the Indian companies, has been a game changer. We have been personally in the business of exports since 50 years now. I think we're 49 years running. And I still remember those years when we used to travel abroad for our exports, and people used to ask me, a Sikh person, that, oh, are you from Egypt? And in countries like Europe. And today, I take pride in saying that Indian and Indians are recognized globally, and they give us the red carpet welcome. And I think it is all thanks to the leadership of the country and what they have changed the perception of the global thing. This thing. We, as I think the pillar of the global South, and New Zealand definitely comes as part of that, is going to be a very different game when it comes to the FTA being signed. More of these details would be discussed later on. I would like to welcome all of you once again on behalf of the Indian Chamber of International Business. And I would like to hand over to our chief guest for today, Dr. Madan Mohan Sethi ji, who is also the Consul General of India in Auckland. Sir, it's been an honor, it's been a pleasure, and welcome to today's session, sir.
I think thank you, Manpreet ji. I think first of all, I like to express my thanks to ICIB for hosting this event. Perhaps this is the first online business interaction in from Auckland side. While I was in Vietnam, I think I must have done more than 100 or 200 online business meetings. So definitely, as you mentioned very clearly, and there is a huge expectation that after this free trade agreement, once it is ratified and come into action, the trade between both sides will go up. As per a conservative estimate, it may add every year 1 billion at least to the bilateral trade. So if I can explain you, because I'm here almost 18 months in New Zealand, although it is a small country having a small population, but its potential is too much. And it's a very innovative country. And the best part is that even if with a small population, this country is considered as a highly developed country, one of the wealthiest country of the world actually. Still, the per capita income is almost 45,000 dollar actually, US dollar per year actually. So the best part is that country is very innovative, the very strong in primary industries. Whatever the products they're making from their agriculture, they're the best in the world actually. I was just going through some articles. It was written very clearly due to their aloofness from other parts of the world actually. So they developed the agriculture sector to such a height actually. high actually. They're considered as one of the best in the world in the not only in the expertise but also in the production capacity of agriculture items, whether it is horticulture items. Again, dairy sector. We all know that they're one of the largest
तर this is the
milk
final
producer in
point.
the world.
I will finish this. आणि जर असं
So,
काही राहिलं तर मी जर कारमध्येच
I
केलं.
request all of you all to please be on mute.
so what I feel that actually currently the trade is showing lots of progress in the sense when I landed here in November 24, it was almost 2.1 to 2 billion New Zealand dollar, but now it has crossed 4.1 billion New Zealand dollar. I think the service sector is also growing, the merchandise sector is also growing. The best part is that this country has a 300,000 Indian diaspora, lots of immigrants from Southeast Asian. So the food items and agro items from India also can come very, very easily to this country actually. Second point is that as this country is focusing more and more on environmental conservation, less manufacturing, and protection of the river, water kind of things. So what they're doing, they're inputting lots of implements, mostly the machinery or the engineering items, even the textile items, even if leather products, the chemicals from other countries, particularly we can tell it China actually. So now after this free trade agreement, we are expecting that the dress materials, the apparels, the chemicals, the leather items, the engineering items, the pharmaceutical items will definitely have a larger entry and without tariff actually. Currently, those products were coming from India, but again with a 5 to 10% tariff. But once the FTA will be implemented, it may become literally tariff free. So definitely there will be an alternate for the local importers to buy the products from India. Only the issue is shipping line, no doubt, because I was told that from China it takes 2 weeks, from India it takes 4 weeks. So how to reduce that time frame? That is another part actually. But lots of items they also buy from Indian items they buy through Southeast Asian countries, like through Singapore also, through Thailand also, through Malaysia also. And I think maybe once the FTA will be signed, perhaps there will be direct export of products from India. From New Zealand also, currently we are buying mostly the agriculture items like kiwi fruits and avocado, little bit manuka honey, but some iron and steel, some specialized aluminium products, and even some wool products. I think almost 20% of their wool production we are buying, but we are also expecting after the FTA, the percentage of wool products, wool import from New Zealand will go up. Already, I think there was a delegation from India who were scouting for more wool to go to India actually. So again, kiwi fruits will also go in large quantities. If I'm not wrong, I think apple will also go in large quantities. We have given them over a period of 5 years almost 45,000 tons they can export apple, and there are some kind of you can tell it relaxation in this free trade agreement that somewhere the volume has been expanded, somewhere and on season, off season you can import the items, and after the quota, even if they want to export the items like apple and other items, again it will be subject to a less tariff actually, and that is the biggest gain for New Zealand, what I understand. And even if the wine from New Zealand, which is considered one of the best wine, it will also enter into Indian market. Dairy products we have little bit restriction, but dairy ingredients we have allowed. Even if milk infant formula also we have allowed. What we are stressing that if they can set up small units and can add value to the ingredients, then it is okay for India. And if you must have seen that in this free trade agreement, one typical thing which people will discuss a little bit and negatively, that India has requested for some kind of 20 billion investment in India from New Zealand side actually. Sorry, 15 billion investment perhaps. I think here the issue is that we don't. What we feel that the New Zealand companies who are planning to have a long-term business presence in India, if they add some value to their products, actually, perhaps the neighboring 8 countries of India, including Pakistan also, because we understand Pakistan also buys Indian products through Dubai, so they can get the other countries as their market. With they can also take the benefit of India ASEAN free trade agreement. They can also export to Middle East and West Asia. So here in New Zealand, there has been some confusion. Some political parties are speaking on that, but I am sure it will die down once the free trade agreement is implemented. What I have seen that apart from this merchandise and service sector means mostly what New Zealand export to India is tourism and education. I was told by the Prime Minister just 4 to 5 days back. I met him in one of the event that 90,000 students have come to New Zealand last year. I think quite big number. I think, and Indians numbers used to be the highest percentage. Earlier, I was told that there is to study 64,000 Indian students before COVID. It went down, but from last year, I think it has gone up again. Now more than 14,000 students are studying there. I have seen the universities, although there are only 8 to 9 universities in numbers, but they're very good in applied aspect, very, very good in applied aspects. So here is an also area if our Indian companies, Indian entrepreneurs want to have a tie-up with here the local universities to provide student also for higher study, not for graduation, but for post-graduation and PhD kind of things. And definitely they can add value to their career actually. Medical care, one sector, I think New Zealand is still at restricting entry of doctors, but nurses, they're allowing Indian nurses, but the nurses have to go for some kind of mandatory training actually. And for doctors, again, it is little bit still yet there is some kind of the New Zealand Medical Commission is still yet not so open, but hopefully because they have some crisis, healthcare care crisis. What I understand, they don't have so many good hospitals also. Not a large number of or many number of hospitals. The doctor numbers are very restricted. The nurses are restricted. The pharmacist numbers are also restricted. So here also India can provide more professionals to come here. I have interacted with some of the immigration experts. Their feeling on the ground is that the country needs more, you can tell it, skill levels like plumbers, electricians, construction workers. And I think here also India can definitely provide. So overall, this free trade agreement is a win-win agreement for both the countries. And the best part is that last 3 years we have seen very strong political alignment. And the Prime Minister of New Zealand had gone to India last year. We are also expecting a visit from India also. And this free trade agreement has also been announced at the right time. I feel that there are now very good, beautiful stories which we can share with the Kiwi friends. What I wish our Indian companies that this is a country which I have seen in the last 15 to 18 months. It run on trust actually, and run on trust, run on legality. We know that our Indians are also very good, but sometimes one or two Indian companies also they like to cheat. So we must be careful on those points because if you have a long-term plan to work with the Kiwi companies, they love to do, but again, trust is the basic bedrock of the relationship. And my office is now up and functioning. We are running literally, and we'll be happy to support you if you want any kind of information. We have already started doing very good business interactions. I think after the free trade agreement, maybe 10 to 12 business meetings we have done. We must have connected more than 500 to 1600 local companies. Now we are going state by state, cities by cities of India, how to connect cities of India to the Auckland and Hamilton cities of here. We will also connect to some of our developed states. We are also trying to connect some of our agriculture rich states, how to take the expertise from New Zealand to India. And we'll be happy with through ICIB. If you want to plan for a delegation, we'll be happy to arrange meetings here. Or we want to send a delegation to India. If ICIB can support us in hosting them, then also we can try to do. I personally believe that it's a time when we have to also diversify our products to other countries, keeping in mind that how the Middle East and West Asia is going through crisis, and New Zealand will be a good friend in time of need also. Thank you, all of you.
Thank you so much, Madhumoji. It's always a pleasure to listen to you. What the information that you give is always so accurate, so phenomenal. And, it is one of the things that we really admire the support when it comes to from your side and from the consulate side. And it has been an amazing opportunity, like you mentioned, the sectors that you mentioned. It has been clearly, I would say, guided by you in the right spirit. I would also like to add for the audience that ICIB is part of a collaborative effort on sports diplomacy. and the sports diplomacy between India and New Zealand. We have worked very closely with the Consulate and the Embassy of New Zealand in India, and of course the Consulate and Embassy of India in New Zealand to work very closely with the New Zealand government. And very soon we will be having a delegation also connected to that for exporting of sports goods. And we are working very closely with Niti Aayog also on this project. And I think it is something that we will all be looking forward to. Thank you, Excellency. Thank you so much once again. It's always a pleasure and honor to have you with us. Thank you. And with this, I would like to invite our next speaker, who's more than a colleague, he's a dear friend. And I would like to introduce Mr. Ganesh Ramani, who's the country representative of ICIB in New Zealand. Welcome, Ganesh. Welcome to today's forum. If I can just brief everyone for a minute. Madan Mohanji, if you can also stick around for a few more minutes for the introduction, that would be nice. Ganesh Ramani is the country head for Tata Consultancy Services, or TCS, as we all know, in New Zealand. He's got a distinguished career of over 20 years at TCS. His leadership roles have gone across 3 countries. He's been for so many years in Australia and now in New Zealand. He's got an amazing understanding of the technology and consulting industry. In fact, under the leadership of Ganesh, TCS presence in New Zealand will be growing for sure. And not only TCS, but also the Indian IT companies that are looking for connecting with SMEs, expanding to the in-country capabilities. He's so passionate about helping New Zealand organization also to modernize, transform with AI approach and digitization and simplification. And I think beyond his core focus, he is a firm believer in leveraging technologies for the social good. That is very important today, and especially when it comes to the New Zealand or Kiwi people. The diaspora also has been giving amazing support to him. He actively champions the community impact, AI literacy, GeoIT Girls, and Tech for Hope initiatives, Justice for Peace for New South Wales, Australia, and is the member of the board of advisors for University of Auckland Centre for Digital Enterprise. And I think, Ganesh, thank you so much for representing ICIB in New Zealand. And Dr. Madhun Moji, it's been your support. And I think we're missing one good friend today because he had a meeting with the government, which is Consul General Graham, who is the Consul General of New Zealand in Mumbai, and also the Trade Commissioner for South Asia. So thank you so much. Ganesh, the floor is yours.
Excellent. Thank you so much, Manpreet, for that fairly long and exhaustive introduction. I didn't realize I had so many hats to wear. And thank you so much, Dr. Setiji, for always providing the right context and the platform for me to probably elaborate a little bit more in terms of what New Zealand has to offer for the free trade agreement with India. So I'm probably...
You want to do a question and answer kind of thing, Ganesh, where I ask you a little bit and then you highlight? How would that be? A little more interactive, and so people don't go to sleep?
Excellent. And we can shoot a few questions as well. Perfect. Let's go.
Okay, perfect. So let me just start with a basic question. Why don't you give a New Zealand economic snapshot, GDP, exports, what's the future outlook all about?
Okay. Interesting. So before I provide a snapshot, let me probably give, kind of provoke everyone here. So whenever people hear about New Zealand, and which is what I probably would have heard about New Zealand during my formative years in school, college, etc., New Zealand was always known for its pristine landscapes, tourism, etc. But New Zealand actually, not sure how many of you know about it. It's actually the 75th largest country in the world. It spans across an area of almost about 268,000 square kilometers. If you put it to Indian context, it's probably the size of the entire Northeast, all our 8 states put together out there. So that's how big it is. At the same time, if you look at its population is about 5.3 million. Now, that could be about 1/10 the population of Northeast. So there are enough of open spaces. There's some brilliant landscapes, pristine beauty all through. And that's probably Auckland, or rather New Zealand in a nutshell. So it comprises of two different islands, North Island as well as South Island. The capital happens to be Wellington, which is in the tip of the North Island. North Island has a little bit more industry, of course, government and some of the financial services and tech. South Island is just pure pristine beauty. So that's a bit about. Sorry. Okay. So that's a bit about New Zealand as a country. I think CGI sir spoke about the Indian diaspora in New Zealand. Out of this 5.3 million population of New Zealand, Indians contribute to about 8% of the overall population. That's about 300 odd thousand. So we've got a fairly significant and across the board representation of the Indian diaspora in New Zealand. Very well respected. Everyone, at least given that I've had a little bit of an international exposure in so many years, I have very rarely come across anybody in New Zealand not talking good about India. So everyone just come back and said anytime people visit India, they come back and say, I love India, the Indian curry, everything. So there's a lot of respect for Indians, what they bring to the table. And that is something that I wanted to tell you as well as some of the people listening in terms of people, culture, business prospects. I think New Zealand is a great country for us to invest in from an Indian perspective.
Just 1 second.
Coming back to your question, sorry, it was a more long-winded introduction into your question. I think you spoke about the economic outlook. I'll give you a quick snapshot of the economic outlook. I think CGI has touched upon some elements. New Zealand as an economy is about close to about $260 billion US. Okay. It's per capita, I think Sir highlighted somewhere around $49,000 or thereabouts, which then projects it to be very, very high in terms of GDP per capita globally when you look at some of the other figures. If you compare GDP per se, it kind of pans across to something like Qatar, Cuba, and some of the other countries, and that's how they look at it. It's in terms of exports, I think they do about $42 billion of exports today, imports of $50 billion. So there is a deficit today in terms of export to import. Typically, what they export in from New Zealand is dairy, eggs, honey, wool, wood, and predominantly the exports are today, as of today, goes predominantly to China. I think about 27% of the exports are to China. Australia would be maybe about 13-14%. US, Europe, and Japan to follow, and very similar in terms of their import. If you look at the main import areas, I think there was a question there. I'll touch upon that. The main import are, of course, machinery, more about hardware, your data centers, PCs, etc. Of course, there is a huge petroleum shortage, so petroleum happens to be a major import. And import also is pretty much in the same proportion. So it's China, Australia, US, EU, and Japan in that order as of today. In terms of sectors, if you have a look at it, sectors will be more, tourism is maybe about 16 to 17%, almost about $47 billion of tourism as an industry. It's probably one of the things that we've all known as in so many years that New Zealand has come to know by. They almost employ about 300,000 people in the tourism industry alone. Followed by tech would be about 8%, agri-tech would be about 3 to 4%. That's a bit of New Zealand as a country and economy. Back to you, Manpreet. Any further questions on that?
Oh, I'm sure there are going to be a lot of questions from the audience. So we'll leave that for the end. I think Madan Mohanji also, I'm sure there will be a lot of questions for you also. So, when we're talking about this today, we're talking about FTA, and Madan Mohanji also said about that. Let's talk about the FTA inception, the efforts that have gone towards the signing the FTA, and what do you think? What it means basically for New Zealand and India.
Okay. So before I jump into the origins of FTA, maybe I'll just give you a brief about the political situation out here in New Zealand. New Zealand follows a constitutional monarchy similar to Australia. It's got a 3-year parliamentary term. So the last election was held in 2023. The upcoming election is going to be in November of 2026. The parliamentary democracy is fairly fragmented. So currently the coalition comprises of 3 parties. One is more of right of center national, then you have ACT and NZ First. The current prime minister is PM Luxon, who represents national. Okay, so that's the gist of where the politics lie. Now, Prime Minister Luxon traveled to India, I think, in February or March of 2025, and as a part of that visit, he of course met Modi ji. They had a great rapport, and I think that's where the seeds of the free trade agreement was sown. Now, it is also touted to be the fastest free trade agreement kind of ratified. It took about 9 months for that to happen. So they kind of reached an agreement, I think, somewhere in April of 2026. So it's fairly quick, one of the fastest. During the course of these 9 to 10 months, I think there were almost about 20 meetings at different levels. So Prime Minister Luxon with Prime Minister Modi, Piyush Goyal ji with Minister Todd McClay out here, both the High Commissioners, Sethi ji along with the Trade Commissioner Graham, as well as multiple business interests were there in place over this last 8 to 10 months. In fact, I also had the opportunity, along with Sethi ji, to be in the visit with Minister Goyal. Piyush Goyal ji was here with the delegation in Auckland as well as the Rotorua, as giving the finishing touches to the free trade agreement. So that is how this entire agreement came into being. It was mutually agreed that they had to fast track it. I think they saw benefits on both sides. Predominantly, if you ask me, one of the key things that New Zealand wanted, and that was a stated thing in one of the press conferences by PM Luxon, I think a kind of a catalyst to this entire free trade agreement with New Zealand was the free trade agreement between India and Australia in somewhere around 2022. The reason being that they quoted that New Zealand, of course, wants to export some of these dairy and meat, wool, etc. Prior to the free trade agreement with Australia, New Zealand exported almost 90% of their meat, sheep, and lamb to India. Now, when the free trade agreement with Australia came into being, that entire export dropped from 90 to 8, which is what kind of created a catalyst in PM Luxon's mind, saying that the only way New Zealand can grow the country is to have a favorable ecosystem and a free trade agreement with India, and that sets forth the seeds for all of that to happen. So initially, of course, there was a lot of inclusions. Everyone wanted a lot of things. So apart from all of these that we spoke about, they also wanted tariffs across goods and services to be removed, dairy products to be included, because that's a primary export commodity for New Zealand. But of course, India had to have its own protection interests. And as Sethi sir said, that apart from dairy, core dairy was kind of an exclusion, but of course, high-end dairy products was included. So that's a brief about how this came through. Do you want me to continue, Manpreet, or do you want do you have anything in that?
I think you can continue. I don't want to stop your flow. My
Okay.
questions are done actually.
Okay. So I'll probably just touch upon the last parts of the key provision. So as I said, there were almost about 20 meetings that happened between different levels. Finally, what both the countries agreed upon was that India gets almost about 100% duty-free access to New Zealand market. As a reciprocal gesture, almost 95% of New Zealand exports will have no or reduced tariff implications. Currently, that's about set to about 50% today. It will move up as it gets ratified and signed. The second is they wanted to create an open market for tech, IT, wool, meat, etc. And then duty-free access to, I think CGS spoke about aluminium, steel, agri, seafood. All of these also have been under the purview of the free trade agreement. And a very important one that came through with this, which has an advantage to India, is that there is a mobility clause that was introduced, which said that about 5,000 visas under a temporary employee work exchange program has been provisioned into this FTA, which gives people, not only the IT and ITES staff, but also gives people like Ayush practitioners, yoga practitioners, etc., access to the New Zealand market by coming to New Zealand for about a period of 3 years. So that's one. I think another point that got raised was, of course, the commitment from New Zealand as a business opportunity to India, with a commitment in about $20 billion of investment over the next 15 years. Now, while I know there are points of view in the New Zealand media as well saying how this commitment being made, but if you wear a business lens and look at the exports that are being looked at as a part of this free trade agreement, they're already looking at somewhere around 1.8 billion today US to move up to about 4 billion in the next 3 to 4 years. So that 20 billion is probably going to is not even a conversation starter once the free trade agreement kicks in, and then there is there are conversations happening in terms of how do we expand business on both sides. That hopefully gives you a view, Manpreet, on where exactly the free trade agreement is, what's in store. Did I touch upon things, or do you want me to elaborate on anything?
I think that's more than enough. Let's leave something for people's imaginations, for people to ask questions to Dr. Madan Mohanji and to you. So, let's leave it at that and have a conversation, continued conversation. In fact, we would request both Dr. Madan Mohanji and to you to at least take up one such meeting every month where we can highlight a specific sector next time. This was general with the FTA, but we would take up one sector every month, and starting with the IT, ITAS, of course, because that's a core sector for you too. And then, we keep on adding with the support of the consulate as per their convenience also. So thank you so much, Ganesh. Thanks for being with us. Always a pleasure and honor.
Thank you so much. It was great being around. And as Dr. Sethi mentioned, there's always a red carpet welcome for Indian businesses to come to New Zealand, whether New Zealand extended or not. I know Sethi sir has always been welcome to doing all of that. I have the pleasure of having many such conversations with him, and look forward to many more exciting ideas, prospects coming in from Indian businesses to start looking at New Zealand as an investment opportunity.
Sir,
Thank you.
Can I start with the first question, with your permission?
So questions, if we can have in the end, that will be great. We have two more speakers.
Okay, sorry. Right.
Yeah. So next we have very quick conversations, and then we will shift to the question and answers. So we have with us Mr. Rajan Thakur, who is also our vice president. And Rajan, are you around? Actually, he was supposed to be at this dentist. So I really
Yes.
don't want to see his.
So I just finished.
Thank God for that. Okay, so happy to have you with us, Ganesh. Thank you so much. And I would like to welcome Rajan Thakur, who's the Managing Director for R&R Data Lakes and also the Senior Vice President of ICIB.
Okay. So respected dignitaries, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, good afternoon. It is a privilege to address this distinguished gathering and share my thoughts on a topic that is shaping the future of global economies. The growing opportunities between India and New Zealand in information technology, digital innovation, artificial intelligence, fintech, and emerging technologies. India and New Zealand established diplomatic relations in 1952. And over the years, our relationship has been strengthened through trade, innovation, and strong people-to-people connection. Today, the Indian community in New Zealand serves as a valuable bridge between our nations, contributing significantly to business, technology, and entrepreneurship. The signing of the India-New Zealand Free Trade Agreement in 2026 marks a new chapter in our bilateral relationships. While the agreement strengthens trade and investment ties, it also creates a powerful platform for collaboration in the digital economy. India has emerged as one of the world's leading technology and digital innovation hub. Today, India's IT and business process management industry contributes approximately $280 billion to the economy. The sector employs over 5.8 million technology professionals. India hosts more than 100,000 startups, including a significant number of operating in AI, SaaS, fintech, cybersecurity, and deep tech sectors. India processes billions of digital transactions annually. Global technology companies continue to expand their engineering, research, and innovation centers across India. These achievements have positioned India as a trusted technology partner for business and governments worldwide. New Zealand has built a reputation as a highly innovative, agile, and digitally advanced economy. The country is recognized for strong digital governance and regulatory frameworks, high level of technology adoption across industries, a thriving startup ecosystem, leadership in agri-tech, software innovation, and digital transformation. A business-friendly environment that encourages experimentation and innovation. New Zealand's strength lies in developing niche technologies and innovative solutions, while India offers unmatched scale, technical talent, and execution capabilities. Together, these strengths create a powerful foundation for technology collaboration. So, artificial intelligence is transforming every industry. India's vast pool of AI engineers, data scientists, and technology professionals, combined with New Zealand's innovation-driven approaches, creates opportunity to jointly develop AI-powered business solutions, predictive analytics platform, intelligent automation systems, responsible AI governance framework. Collaborative AI initiatives can help businesses across the Asia-Pacific region improve productivity, efficiency, and competitiveness. As digital adoption accelerates, cybersecurity has become a strategic priority worldwide. India has developed significant expertise in cybersecurity services, security operations centers, threat intelligence, and digital risk management. Partnership between Indian technology firm and New Zealand organization can strengthen security monitoring solutions, cyber risk assessment platform, data protection technologies, secure cloud environments. Building trusted digital ecosystem will be essential for future economic growth. Organizations across the world are rapidly moving towards cloud-first business model. India's extensive experience in enterprise technology implementation and New Zealand's highly digital business environment creates opportunities for collaboration in cloud migration services, enterprise digital transformation, smart infrastructure, digital government solution, managed technology services. These partnerships can accelerate innovation while improving efficiency and scalability. India has become a global benchmark for digital payment, innovation, and financial technology. New Zealand's advanced financial system and strong regulatory environment provide an ideal ecosystem for collaborative fintech innovation, for cross-border payment solutions, digital banking platforms, financial inclusion technologies, secure digital transaction frameworks. Software as a service is one of the fastest growing segments of the digital technology industry. India's software engineering capabilities and New Zealand's entrepreneurship ecosystem provide a significant opportunities to co-create globally competitive SaaS products like enterprise software, business automation, supply chain technology, data analytics, and industry-specific digital solutions. Technology partnerships today are no longer limited by geography. The future belongs to nations that can combine talent, innovation, trust, and digital capability. India can offer scale, talent, technology expertise, cost-effective innovation, While the New Zealand can offer innovation, agility, regulatory excellence, global market access. Together, we can create solutions that addresses real-world challenge while driving economic growth and digital transformation. The relationship between India and New Zealand is entering an exciting new phase, one defined not only by trade but by innovation and technology. The opportunity before us in varied fields are substantial. The question is no longer whether collaboration is possible. The question is how quickly we can transform these opportunities into meaningful partnerships. Today, India and New Zealand can create a digital partnership that drives through innovation, generates economic value, and contributes to a more connected and technologically advanced future. That is it from my side. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Rajan. It's a pleasure. And I think we can take a few questions now. Now we can see you. I request some quick questions from the audience if you have to Honorable Consul General Madan Mohanji and Ganesh Ramani, if we can have something. And I would like to also hand over, post that for the official vote of thanks to our Secretary General, Tinku Gupta. So any questions from the audience? Most welcome.
Yeah, sir, let me start with the first question. Sir, this is to everybody here on the platform. I would like to know, since New Zealand is a country where a lot of sustainability and such stuff is actually valued, what is the scope for, say, our eco-friendly bagasse-based tableware from here? Because India is a great producer of sugarcane bagasse, and we have the plates as well as the bowls, etc., which are being used in multiple countries across the world, and which are being, which are replacing, the other forms of cutlery. So I just wanted to check with them what's the sort of scope there, and their Indian restaurants or any other restaurants in the catering industry. Thank you, sir.
I think for your question, I think the answer is a big yes, actually. We have, if I'm not wrong, I think more than 1,000 Indian restaurants in whole New Zealand. Lots of New Zealand itself is famous for its food, for its restaurants, actually. So you can definitely certainly send your products. Okay. Only the point is that they have very strict biosecurity measures. They don't want, along with the products, any kind of bacteria or virus or infection should enter into this country. If that you can ensure, I don't think there is an issue, because I have seen also in some of the festivals and programs, they have used some kind of biodegradable materials like what you mentioned, I think, for use in food, use for food, actually.
Yeah, are the Chinese already there with their tableware as well as the cups and bowls, etc.? It's already flooded? How is the market? Is it flooded
No,
already?
it is not so much flooded. Again, I want to tell you, it is not so much flooded because, as mentioned by Ganesh, I think most of the imports are still coming from China, little bit from Vietnam, from Malaysia, from Thailand, little Australia. But again, the compositions are different, actually. But definitely the Delhi items are coming from these countries. Okay. So mostly from China, actually. And perhaps my hunch is that once the FTA will be signed, we have also many Indians who are doing small to big business. I want to tell you that our Indians are very, very strong in 4 to 5 sectors: the construction sector, the hospitality sector, the food distribution sector, even the restaurant sector, even if the agriculture production sector also, we are very, very strong, actually. And literally, we have the dominance, actually. Okay. So what I request that we can connect to some of the restaurants if you want, actually, or you can have a preliminary discussion with them. We can share with you the phone number of them, because my office is already in touch with 10 to 11 restaurants for
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
so we can do also.
So should I send you the mail on eg.auckland.ma.gov.in?
Yeah.
I'll send a mail to you, sir. Shortly, you will get a mail from me, and with all the details. then we can
Good
be in
afternoon.
discussion.
Good afternoon. This is Omkar from Worldwide ITS. I would like to know further. We being a technology consultant and we help organization for technology adoption. So whether there is a scope for you can say the new concept is in a global capability center. So would it be possible to have that collaborative efforts in New Zealand?
You see, New Zealand has also some kind of money. They have their some kind of you can tell that limited technology country actually. Okay, but if you tell me little clearly under the GCC what type of technology you want to do for which sector, then I can tell you a little more actually.
So we are majorly into geospatial technology, AI technology, frontier technology. So whether if we would able to collaborate with such kind of a technology, so there could be a win-win situation for both the countries and both the entities, where we will provide them a kind of a technological deliverables, and we as a Indian company get the business synergy out there.
I think here I think it is possible. I think New Zealand is also very good in some of the advanced areas like aerospace. Also, they're very strong actually, extremely
Yes.
strong. I want to tell you actually, and in aviation also they're quite strong actually. They're into this helicopter business. I was told that from 1920s and 30s, not a single helicopter they have lost as of now.
Okay.
So definitely technology is important for any country. So definitely
Okay.
you can join here. And a large number of the small scale companies, less than 10 staffs, are more into technology based actually.
Okay. So there is a scope for
Yeah.
expansion.
If you share with us a concept paper, what type of
Yes.
technology you want to do, then definitely we can connect. We are already in touch with some 100 to 200 companies now. So it will be
Okay.
interesting also if we can start connecting to you, some of the counterparts here actually.
Perfect. Perfect. Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Your Excellency, my name is Farooq Giwala from Mumbai, from F. Giwala Human Resource Consultants. We are in the business for more than 30 years. And I want to put some detail of these companies who require manpower from India so we can supply them. We are into hospitality, we are into construction, we are into pharmaceutical, medical. We have different division in our company. And we recruit directly for the Ministry of Health of Oman, Muscat. We are pioneering Saudi Arabia, but we like to work with New Zealand also. So if you can give us some details, contact, we will be in touch with them in your office.
So I think, Farooq sir, we can definitely share actually. Only I just request you that our Indian people have to maintain 100% transparency, because I've seen actually last 18 months, one incident happened here actually, where some 13, 14 people from Haryana, they vanished into thin air. So the immigration people did not like it, and there is a big complaint, and which is partly correct also. Like sometimes our people come with false documents. Very recently I was approached that some of our Indians who have come here, they cannot speak in English also. But if you maintain, as I told you, the highest degree of transparency, highest degree of ethics, I'm sure it's a beautiful country, because they need every year 34 to 40,000 permanent visa they like to give, and Indians get more numbers. I want to tell you, last year also 35,000 visa they have given to Indians. So it is the one side they speak that one or two Indians are cheating us. One side also they give the visas to 35,000 Indians. So here you have to make a balance. We can connect to a company which has approached us also actually to hire nurses, hire plumbers and electricians from India, even if they are ready to bring them for a 2 years, 3 years kind of program.
Yeah.
And here, as you know, what Ramanis have told, actually, this is a country of only 200 years, let me tell you. So they have also a plan to increase the population up to, you can tell it, 7 million in the next 10 years. And again, the Indian numbers will also go up from 350,000 to 600,000. Only our negative point is that sometimes when we cheat, and that when it happens, it goes in a very broad way, totally tarnishing all Indians actually.
I totally agree with you, sir. And for that, if you can take our reference like POE Bombay also, Protector General of Immigrant Mumbai, They report, they send the client to us, and so far there is no complaint. And we try to maximize the screening and the process. So once they reach to the country, there is no complaint. Recently,
Yeah.
we recruited a batch of 50 people to Russia. So far, they are so good and they are working. Especially people from, sorry to say, with the Punjab sector, they have the intention, they want to go to Canada, they want to go, they want to join, they want to run, they want to become rich very fast and drink and what, we have received also few complaints, even from Dubai for that instance, but still, we avoid them.
Yeah, it is true. But
Yeah,
we'll connect to you very soon, I think. We have
sure,
some
sir.
people actually who want to do.
Definitely, sir. And also we are running one office also in New Zealand. Yesterday only
Hmm.
I talking to one hospital, this Wokard hospital. The owner is my good friend, and he said, Farooq, we must open an office in New Zealand to supply doctor and nurses. Thank you so much. We'll be in touch with
Thanks.
you, Mr. Madan. Thank you so much, sir.
Thanks.
Sir, can I speak now? Sir, we are into battery energy storage systems. We have multiple business. One is battery energy storage system, best, which is like New Zealand is doing good in renewable energy. So when you are making the renewable energy, you need a battery storage to store that energy so that you can use it in off the cars, and so the energy which you are generating can be stored and can be used at the right time. So we are looking for some channel partners in New Zealand for this thing. What's your take on this? Because we are doing the similar projects in Portugal and in Middle East. So what's your take on best solutions in the New Zealand?
So actually, Mr. Sunit, yesterday one of Indian friend actually he met me. So they are going to do now solar projects in 200 schools actually. So he had
Okay.
come to meet me just to check with me whether there are any Indian firm who can work with them. If you are okay, I can share his number also.
Oh, yeah.
I think
Yeah.
perhaps they have got some kind of contract, or they're going to get a
Yes,
contract
yes,
to
yes.
electrify or solarify 200 schools as a pilot project. I think you can
Okay.
definitely talk to them also.
Sure. And so secondly, as one of the speaker mentioned a lot about the software. So we are also dealing one in a software by the name Cargo Clave, which is a software for complete solution for logistic industry. Be it warehouse, be it freight forwarding. So we are providing the complete solution for the logistic industry. So we are looking for some channel partner because we have some partners in the Middle East and India. We are doing quite good. So we are looking for some channel partners so that we can provide a complete a software solution to the logistic industry, and we can cater to all their needs accordingly.
No, we can connect to some of the Indians who are doing big freight business, and you can talk to them also. We can share their numbers also.
Okay. Thank you, Madam.
Thanks.
Okay. So it's this is Manmeet Singh Bhatti here. I'm from Chandigarh, India, north of India, and we are primarily into industrial automation. We automate the factories. And just in Ganesh talk, actually, he spoke about a lot of machinery being imported. So I just wanted to understand the scope of the service providers like me, like who do the integration of the machinery together, they bring the dashboards. So what is the scope over there like? Because I understand there is a very less population in New Zealand, and specifically the tech population is not that high. So is there any scope for the people like me who can actually develop a business which is basically a service business to support, install, and then again?
Yeah, definitely.
Okay.
Because that is a huge deficit now.
Hmm.
Because what is happening actually, the queue is actually, if you see the demography is that queue is, maybe you can tell it maybe 2 million.
Yeah.
Then 1 million is expats, including the Indians, the Chinese, the Filipino, the Japanese, the South Koreans, and 160 nationalities people just stay in New Zealand, very surprisingly. Okay.
Yeah.
And there is a 1 million people again from the Maori group actually. Okay.
Yeah.
And so while the Kiwis are definitely active, they do the job. The Maoris are 50-50%. there are lots of subsidies for Maoris. Now the government is trying to cut it actually, so there are some kind of resistance. But frankly, if you ask me, I've never seen how much the Indians have got success so quickly here. Only in one generation they have gone to very very high level. We have 6 to 7 Indians who are literally billionaires, and they are running. You can tell it some business. One Indian who is providing every day morning the onion and the potato to 40 to 50,000 McDonald's in throughout New Zealand. Just imagine. Doing nothing except cleaning the onion, cutting it actually, or cutting the cabbage. It's going to 40 to 50,000 a, having 80 refrigerated trucks actually going throughout the New Zealand actually. So it is a beautiful country as I want to mention. If you come with a little bit ethics, not to cheat them, definitely they'll be happy to take you as part of them actually.
Got it, sir. So what I will do is, sir, I'll be sending an email about my introduction and the kind of the connections I'm looking at. Would need your help on that, sir. Thank you.
Good afternoon, sir. I'm Jaswant Singh. Hello.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I'm not able to switch on due to some problem my camera of the laptop, sir. So sorry for this, sir. I'm a state convener for Gujarat region ICIB under leadership of Mr. Manpreet Singh. Thank you so much, sir. Sir, I have a couple of things, but yes, if I may permit it, first question is, sir. India is entering into such a phase in mainly ESG sustainability we talk about, but there is some carbon credit activities in India for which I'm working on from last 6 months. So if there are any possibility of any companies who specializes in this segment where the credit offset can be done, so would be interested reaching out to them, something special, sir.
Yeah. I
If you
think
can
New
advise.
Zealand, most of the companies, if I'm not wrong, they're into this low carbon. You can tell it utilization. And there are also companies who are doing into carbon trading also. I have also met some of the companies who want to recycle total waste, whether it is the bio waste, whether it is the plastic waste, whether it is the e-waste, into some kind of energy. And if you send me a full data, actually, what I was just thinking now that now one or two a small chamber has come up with a priority with Indian diaspora members. And if Manpreet ji agrees, every month I wish both sides can talk. I will also join. I'm sure within 2 or 3 meetings there will be some click will happen between some of your members and some of the members here. Okay, instead of
course, sir.
my office giving connection, they all will love to come forward because those members are into different sectors. They are also at very senior positions in big companies here. I think they can immediately start connecting to you. What you need some good and genuine contact. Actually, they'll start contacting to you.
Of course, sir. Thank you so much. And one last question, very quickly, sir. I organize. There is a big scope of student exchange programs which we do worldwide, London, USA, UK. But New Zealand is still far from reach. I don't know how it works. A few countries are spectacle and rules are very clear that we have to reach out to education department of particular country and then reaching out to the school. So I really don't know how it works that side. So if you can throw a little idea about it, sir.
No,
Thank you.
here they will allow. If you want student from India to come here, you want to take student from here to there also on under exchange, it is a possible. Okay, it is possible. But again, I only just as I mentioned that we should not come with a wrong intention. I just had a talk with a principal of a school in Hamilton City. They are ready to now take 20 to 25 students to India under an excursion trip actually, where I'll also support a little bit. Unless what happens here, the schools and the students, they mostly go to China and Japan actually, and because they
That's
feel
what.
more comfortable. Huh? So India is still at little bit negative opinion is there, but again, we are trying to change it actually on the ground level. Almost all the government top positions are occupied by Indians, but that is again surprising for me also. Why people feel that India is not such a good country. So we have to change the notion actually.
Sir, I'm doing this from 15 years, but yes, it's very difficult to, bring them here to India. It's very difficult. Trust me on this. But yes, we are sending a good number of students across the world. But we want to host them. So we have a good scope schools here who can host them, welcoming them. If you allow, I can email you so that
Yeah, please,
can,
please. No issue, please.
Thanks for your permission, sir. So kind
Thank
of you. And once again, very sincere apologies. I could not switch on my camera. I'm apologies for that, sir. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Namaskar. This is Tinku Rajiv Gupta, Secretary General, Indian Chamber of International Business. It has been a very engaging session, and my special thanks, sir, to you, Your Excellency Dr. Madan Mohan Sethi, Consul General of India in Auckland. We have got a lot of insights from Shri Ganesh Ramani, our representative in New Zealand, and of course the different interactions we had. So I assure you that as our president has also said, we will be having a lot of sector-wise sessions henceforth. I will myself take it forward, sir. And I'm looking forward not only to the Indian diaspora, but also to connecting with the local people. Thank you so much, sir, for your time and efforts to connect. We will remain connected, and thank you each and every participant. I have noted the questions that each one of you had. And as and when we are coming up with the sector-wise meetings, we will definitely get in touch with them. I will collect all the details and also be forwarding it to you, sir. Thank you, each one of you, for taking time out, and thank you especially, sir, for your valued support. Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you, madam.
Thank you so much. Thank you.